We had a great weekend of combat sports and a high-profile fight this weekend. On today's episode, we will be discussing UFC 291.
291.
That's last weekend. Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz this weekend. That's upcoming August 5th. Make sure that you're watching it.
Oh, also, should men and women be able to fight each other? Or even if it's for charity? Like, what's your thought process?
We'll cover it. But first, we have to start with one of our best boxing performances in recent history, memory, all of the above. Bud Crawford reigns supreme. King me.
I was wrong.
Hey, stay tuned, baby.
What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Bridge Now.
I feel like busting loose. Give me the bridge now. I feel like busting loose now.
There's only because in boxing, one punch can change it, no matter who you are, no matter how good you are.
I love her because she from the hood though. From the hood though. She like really from the hood.
Those make you feel fine. Talking about busting loose.
That Stock said Nate will never live that down. No, he won't. But it's not about, it's about how he gets up.
They doing that. They doing that Wakanda scene when they was just like,
It's about your heart because you can get knocked down so many times and people can make fun of you, but it's about their resilience.
Welcome to another great episode of Ringside with Ray and Prince, where we look to educate you, entertain you, and empower you. Make sure that you hit that like and that subscribe button and share this with the people that you care about. Other than that, let's go ahead and get this show started. Ray,
Man,
what's going on, baby?
Everybody want to talk about
slight work. Details like DMV. Finally got your girl going.
Man, Crawford versus Spence fight. It was way different than what I expected. Crawford came out and asserted his dominance.
Wow.
I should have known, man. From watching from the beginning, I missed the ring walk. And so when I heard that Crawford came out with Eminem to Lose Yourself, and Errol Spence came out like he was high on that Snoop Dogg Kush, I should have known, man. I didn't pay attention. And that was the key factor in the fight. To see that ring walk, you knew it was over.
Hey, it was over right away, man. I was trying to convince myself that Spence he looked focused, but maybe he did look high. Everyone did say that, but I'm pretty sure he didn't take no hit or anything of that Snoop Dogg Kush before he went out into the ring. I think it was just a combination of a lot of things, man, and all of those factors worked against him. And
look, his face was already got punched in the face before he came out there. It was a little swollen up. I mean, he looked like what was going on. I haven't seen that. I've rarely seen that you look like Martin Lawrence against Tommy Hearns before you.
I don't want to fight no more, Gina. Look, Crawford is the new undisputed champion of the world in the welterweight division.
Two-time undisputed champ.
Wow.
That's the first male in history to do it. The only Claressa Shields, the other person, but she's on the female side.
So Terence Crawford and Claressa Shields are the man and the woman. Look, man. One of the things that stood out in watching the fight was Terence Crawford, how he was taking Spence's power, his power punches, and also he was delivering that straight jab that he could not like Errol Spence could not stop that, man. It's like he's running to a brick wall.
His timing was totally off. And one of our guests last week, Corinne, the group, that's what she said. She said Crawford's defense and the fact that Errol Spence has been off for so long, and he just controlled the whole fight with his jab, man. The timing every single time, it was precision. Like as soon as Errol tried to do something, tried to move his jab, he was undercutting his jab and then sticking him and popping him, counter punching, defense. I don't think Errol got a clean shot for him the whole time. Like he was swinging, but he was swinging like from a bad distance, or he got crowded, and Crawford was just waiting for him every time he came in. He's like, I see it, you slow. I'm gonna catch you as soon as you come in. Pow, take that with you. Jab, pow, take that with you. I mean, the jab was killing him. Like every time he got hit with that jab, you saw his face like, man, I don't want to do this no more.
I don't want to do this.
Like, don't do it. Oh man.
I don't want to fight no more.
That's the worst thing. That's one of the worst things in boxing. If you just get into that jab, that stick, you say put him on the stick. That's one of the things that all the trainers say. Put him on in that stick. If you want to end that stick, you just taking a whooping.
Oof, you're just taking a whooping, man. So who you think Terence Crawford has next? Is he gonna do the rematch with Errol Spence Jr. Or is he gonna go against Boots?
Boots in his he called out Charlo while he was in the ring. In the middle of it, he's sitting there yelling at Charlo from the side. After he just stuck Errol with a punch and put him down, he went over to the side where it's like, you next. So I don't know if he want to go straight to Boots. I don't know if he go straight to Boots right now. Errol will probably be another easy win for him to go up to 154. But if I'm advising Errol Spence, man, I think he has to really take a look at his whole career and how it can move forward. And if there was residual stuff from his injuries and stuff like that, from his car accidents. Yeah. So, I really have to take a long look rather than just jumping in and saying, oh, let me put my heart out here and say, here, I just want to go back at it. Man, you might not come back out that ring the way he whooped your ass that last week.
Look, man. Look, he's not the only one that got their ass whooped. Dustin Poirier, he got his ass handed to him in the rematch that he had with Justin.
Justin Gaethje came in and gave a hell of a performance against Dustin Poirier. I picked Poirier to win. I was 0-2 this week, man.
But man, look, that is a BMF. Gaethje, that man, he knocked out Poirier. It was bad. It was a night of redemption for him after those 5 years. I know he was sitting back thinking about it. He came out. He was a monster. He did his thing, and
he got toasted the first fight, and then he comes back, and I think Poirier was. I was watching. Poirier was looking good, man.
And Gaethje, threw out like he was throwing a right hook and came in with the right kick. Bam! Hit him. Boom! His whole head was ringing. I know it was.
You can't miss. I mean, you get hit with that kick. It's a hold over thing.
Yeah. So they've been talking about Dustin if he's going to be able to come back and ever try to win the championship. They said he doesn't have a good chance because he's getting older, and you get knocked out like that. I'm pretty sure everybody's writing you off. But man, this puts Gaethje in the talks to be able to fight Islam.
Khabib's cousin.
Yep, Khabib's cousin. Who's the lightweight champion of the UFC. So that's going to be a good one if that happens. That's going to be a really good one, man. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, but that's a little ways away. But we got a big fight coming up this weekend. We got my man Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul. And they're going 10 rounds at 185. So Jake Paul has been probably one of the most disruptive folks in all of boxing, coming in and taking all the thunder from a lot of the fighters who have been doing it for years, making all the money, and now he's going up against a dude that just don't give a damn. Like Nate Diaz is a bad boy for real.
Look, I don't know if you saw the other day when he walked out on that interview that they had, and he left and just got in his car. It's just like, what are you doing? Just like, I don't want to be here. I'm leaving.
Dude is insane, man. He's a street brawler. He's a fighter. So I know he ain't gonna quit. So what do you think's gonna happen, man? I think he's gonna give Jake Paul, a run for his money. But Shane said Jake hit like a heavyweight.
Man, Shane did. Sugar Shane was on here last week, and he said Jake hits like a heavyweight. But we had Devin that was also on here as well, and he said that he feels that Diaz is going to give Jake that business. And I don't know, Jake he's youthful, he's young, he's powerful, man. He's gonna run laps around him, man. But I know Diaz, he got that heart and he got that chin, and he's not gonna give up. But they got boxing gloves on. It's not, you don't have your fists are not available for you, right? So it's boxing gloves. It's a little bit different, man. And
I wait for see if Nate gets in trouble if he throws a kick or if he goes in there and tries to do something. Man, I'm telling you, I think this is gonna be like WWE. Like seriously. It might be something crazy happen that Diaz gets stung and he gets up and choke Jake Paul ass out.
No, if I happen to see it, I'm gonna call you. We're gonna bust out laughing together, man.
Yeah.
Look, they got Jake Paul priced at minus 400, while Diaz is plus 310. So, oh man, I can see who's the favorite.
Jake Paul, big favorite. So, we'll see that. But who would you have the favorite over Claressa Shields and Keith Thurman? My girl Claressa, the two-time Olympic champion, the baddest woman boxer on the planet, said called Keith Thurman out of all people. Keith one-time Thurman and said, "Hey, I want to put these paws on you."
Look, man, I'll say this and I'll say it again. I'll echo this several times. I don't think a man and a woman should get in the ring and fight, no matter if it's for a charity event, no matter if it's an exhibition, if they're just playing, man, because ego is a big thing. And for a male, if their ego gets hurt, that level of testosterone turns on. And they don't care if it's a woman, if it's any other sex that's in the ring, you will get knocked out. So I don't second that, man. And I wish that Claressa wouldn't say anything like that.
Man, I think she got a false sense because she spars with guys sometimes.
Yeah,
right? She spar with guys. Well, in sparring, you working on things. Ain't nobody really trying to kill nobody in there. And I've seen sparring partners or people who spar with top tier guys and say, "Oh yeah, we sparred and I did pretty good." And then they actually get in the ring with them, and then bam, it's over with, right? So for me. He better not play around with that girl though.
Yeah,
because Claressa can fight.
Yes,
fight like a dude.
And you know what? But it'd still be a lose-lose situation. Even if he wins, everyone say, "Oh man, you shouldn't beat up a girl like that or a female like that." And then if he doesn't win, everybody's like, "You got whooped by a girl." So. So it's a lose-lose situation for him, no matter what, man. So again, I don't condone that, man. I don't think that's the greatest idea.
We live in insane times, man. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm glad football season's coming around the mountain too. So that's gonna be fun because training camp has been really good. What you looking at? Oh hell.
Ray, you gonna pull yours out? I'm gonna pull mine out. We're gonna be consistent with it this year, man.
Oh, man. Football season is here. Training camp is underway. Folks is getting it in.
Look, if you don't know, you need to know. In 2023 and 2024, she is taking over. Look, we are joined by the one and only Miss Ashley Ross, who is an NFL commentator right now and the host of the Ashley Ross Show. She has also done work with Fox Sports, radio, and the Peacock TV. If you haven't seen Peacock TV, you need to check it out. You need to subscribe right away, right here, right now. And without further ado, I want to go ahead and bring our guest on. Look, she already popped up. She in the mix. She ready to go. Ash,
I'm telling you, Prince, I showed this guy way smarter and way prettier.
Thank you guys. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you guys so much.
Ash, how you doing?
I am doing good. I'm excited. Before when we were about to come on, I asked Ray who his team was. And he said, "Oh, I don't have a team," and just casually sipped the Cowboy Cup. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get into this today.
I may have to pull a helmet out because right? I just need to move it over a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's stunting early. You stunned early, Prince. Come on, it's too early.
Before the end, you got to put the helmet on. Before the end of the broadcast, you got to put the helmet on.
You know what, Ash? I'm glad you said something. It's just my side. Oh, it's just my side.
Is that a triple XL?
Triple XL.
I'm gonna go ahead and set that right back there, baby, so everybody can see that. Y'all already know. Baltimore in the house. Lamar Jackson. OD Beckham. What's up, baby? Come on now. Let's get it. Look. Today, Ash, we want to talk about the NFL. There's a lot of things that's going on in the NFL, and we know we had to bring the expert in to speak about that. Like, what's the atmosphere? The season is about to begin. Like, who is your favorite team? Talk to us. Tell us.
Look, the Cowboys gonna win it all.
That's what they say every year. That's what they say. But you know what though? I respect the loyalty to a fault. I mean, the Cowboys are like a chick that should leave, but she's like, I ain't letting go. Like on the Titanic, I'll never let go. That's a Cowboy fan right there.
Woo!
Tell them.
I know. You know what? I know. I'm coming out swinging on this one. I got to come out
told me
swinging on
earlier,
the Cowboys.
I said Cowboys win Super Bowl. She said, "Yeah, y'all been saying that for decades."
Decades, plural.
Jerry Jones is the best showman ever in town. He'll tell you every year, we're going to win the Super Bowl this year. Just mark my words. And you believe it. And they don't.
Absolutely.
So there can only be one winner every year. And you know, the last few years, you had the Kansas City Chiefs. You've had, who else? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady. But Tom Brady's gone now. So
Rams.
yeah, the Rams out of nowhere with Matthew Stafford. I'm like, how did they? But you know, what do you think? What is the state of the league right now? There's so much transition. There's so many different people, many moving parts. What is the state of the league right now? What do you think is happening?
You know, I think the thing about the NFL season that's so much different than the NBA is that every season there's so much turnover, there's so much movement. And where the NBA, I mean, you could have one or two superstars and that kind of guarantees you to go deep. In the NFL, it's like you could go to the Super Bowl. I mean, you look at the Rams, they won the Super Bowl and then they didn't even make the playoffs and were horrible last year. So I think this season coming up, there's new faces and new places. But I think the biggest chatter in recent memory is right now the whole situation with the running backs and what's really going to happen with them going forward. And Prince, I know that this is near and dear to your heart, being a former running back, but I think there's a lot of debate on both sides where, you know, people are pro running back, people are pro, you know, kind of shut up and play, and, you know, people are pro team. So it's just kind of where you fall on the spectrum.
Look, Le'Veon Bell set the precedent because he had to show everybody that you have to value yourself. You have to value your position. Running backs, they are the heartbeat of the team. They actually, you know, they're the workhorse of the team. You give the ball to the running back, they got to make sure that they don't fumble. They got to make sure that they score a touchdown. They got to make sure that they're blocking for their quarterback as well and be able to read the defense, you know, within 4 seconds. Be able to see if it's a 4-3 or a 3-4. Be able to pick up the linebacker. Be able to know if it's a corner blitz or a safety blitz. Man, there's a lot of things that running backs have to do. Please, let's not go down
Kristen,
that road.
put some respect on our name.
Put some respect on our name and our position, man. So
it's insane how devaluation has happened. You know, like you said, Prince, running backs have to do multiple things. You have to be able to read the coverage. You have to be able to read whether it's a blitz and linebacker or the change in what the defense is going to do. You have to be able to protect. You have to be able to catch the ball. You got to be able to run the ball. And so, like, I don't understand how that happened. That it became that, you know, running backs are here. We can just plug and play with anybody.
Man.
Well, I think part of it is, you know, and you guys obviously, you know, are businessmen as well. It's leverage, right? So you have to strike while the iron is hot. So you look at certain players like a Josh Jacobs. He can sit out right now because he knows if push comes to shove, you need me to be in this offense. You've literally designed this offense with me in mind. And this is a new coaching staff. You know, we'll just use the Raiders, for example. It's a coaching staff that did not have a great first year. You come off of your former franchise quarterback, you ship him out to the Saints, and now you've got to make this thing run. So his situation, I think, out of all the running backs is the best because he has the most leverage right now. Now, Jonathan Taylor, you know, if he was making this argument, not last year, but the year that he really had his breakout season, you have more leeway, but you've been a little injured. The thing that is going to kind of help him right now is Zach Moss just went down. So now if you're the Colts, what are you really going to do? Because, I mean, you don't have stud wide receivers. Your offense is the run game. So I think a lot of it is understanding your leverage and when to hold them, when to fold them. So Josh is like, look, I'm not going to be at camp right now. Y'all get on without me.
But let me ask you this, Ashley, because the Colts owner came out with some ridiculous stuff out of his mouth. You know, Jonathan Taylor was pretty close to being an MVP candidate 2021. He put the team on his back when the team was just terrible. They didn't have a quarterback. They barely had an offensive line, and he actually outperformed where he was. And then you have the ownership is saying, like, yeah, well, we'll put somebody else in. We don't really give a crap about you. So, like, how do you respond to that? If that's me, I'm in my feelings. I'm like, yeah, man, yeah. You gonna see. Yeah, you got Zach Moss going down. You gonna put one of these dudes that's a 8th round pick that may not have done anything and see what they do. See if you get that same kind of production.
For me, I would take it as, and I think everybody at different periods, and Prince, you could probably speak to this, is when you realize the NFL is really a business first. And I think that right now, Jonathan Taylor is feeling the brunt of business first. I think the duality of sports, and especially when you get to the professional level, is there is a team and a camaraderie amongst the players. There is a family, a bought in of, I'm going to go to war with you. But the business side is a whole other animal. So it's like you have the family aspect where, of course, I'm going to ride for my brother. I'm going to go to war with this guy, but the front office is not going to go to war for me. So it's kind of this weird balanced space where, yes, you're going to compete hard, but deep down, I'm replaceable.
Yeah, you got to get your money first. That's the number one thing. You got to get paid first, because if I'm going to go out there and put myself on the line, like, I need these, as Marshawn Lynch can say, my chickens.
My chickens.
I need to make sure that they are good. And so if we talk about business, that's what I think that the running back should do. Like, money first before I play. Let's look at Saquon Barkley. Right, he was out in New York, and they paid him, what was that, $11 million for 1 year?
But that's a short deal.
But he's what 40% of their offense. Like he was everything that they did. Like, everything ran through him. So you gave him a little measly, I wouldn't say measly, but $11 million for 1 year and $2 million signing bonus. But then you have the ability to be able to franchise tag a running back 2 times in a row. Like, that doesn't make any sense when you know the longevity of the running back position is what, 3 to 5 years, really? For most part.
Exactly. But here's the thing: in my head, if we're doing business, then you need to go ahead and get the money quickly. It's almost like winning the lottery. Like, get the money quickly. Use that money to invest in some stuff outside of football, like some real estate, right? Secure your bag, and then multiply your wealth. Because I think that running backs need to understand that the nature of this game is this game is centered around a quarterback.
But also, and this is another key thing, and I touched on this, is that look at who his agency is. Everybody at Clutch Sports, I don't care, from LeBron to the dude riding the bitch, we'll say Tristan Thompson, everybody at Clutch is getting paid for the most part, a good bag. So I think that's also where a good agent comes into play, where you can have an agent that is going to negotiate your contract in a way that is, one, going to get you the most guaranteed money, and then 2, get you money through incentives. Because especially at the running back position, if you hit some of these benchmarks, that's really how you're going to make the most money.
I think the running back should get paid as much money as they can up front, because, as they say, the running back position is not for long. Like, I had my 3 years. I survived, but I definitely wanted to play more years. I definitely wanted to enjoy competing at that very high level. But my career was stifled by an injury. So running back's going to always get injured. It's a violent position. You're constantly hitting every single down. Either you're blocking or you're running the ball, and so you have to make sure that you can get your chicken at the very beginning and start investing those eggs so you can create more chickens, right?
Absolutely. And me and Prince, we've discussed this before of, should they shorten the rookie contract for running backs? And I think this is why it's so valuable when you're having these conversations, to talk to players that have had these contracts, that have been in the position, because there's such an insight that just a normal analyst or person is not going to have, because we're not looking at these contracts and that dynamic. So something that I have brought up, that has been brought up, is why don't they shorten the rookie deal? But you brought up the point on the back end that if you shorten the rookie deals, then you might not get the veteran minimum, or you might not be considered a vet if you don't get picked up. So it's all of these different equations that come into play.
Right. Yeah. Because from a business side of things, as an owner, I can say, all right, we'll shorten the rookie contract. We'll give you 2 years. And so after those 2 years, you can be indisposable. I can just say, you know what? I'm okay. We're going to go in a different direction. And so you won't be a vested player. You need 3 years to be a vested player. right, to play in the league and to get the benefits after playing in the league. And there are a lot of people that play 1 to 2 years and they're not qualified to be a vested player. And so that's a really key thing that they have to really understand, that all the players have to understand, and people outside of football understand that business is always going to be done at the very beginning, whether you like it or not. And so I still think that they should play those 3 years, but within that first 2 years, see if they can renegotiate their contract or extend it a little longer. But make sure that they get their 3 years in, because you want to be a vested player. Because if not, these benefits, after putting your body through all of that,
Absolutely.
that grueling process, man, you need to know if you have some CTE. You need to know if you need to get a hip replacement. There are a lot of guys that are battered and beaten, and they don't have any benefits. So
the running backs that make a difference on teams, right? What teams stand out to you this year besides the Cowboys that are going to be like the team that's going to be the one that are maybe a player or two away, or that have a chance to go and really make some noise this year?
You know what? So, and everybody's going to say I'm being a homer, but Duval. This is why. So my dad has been a Jacksonville Jaguar fan since they have had the team. So he's been through a lot in his Jacksonville Jaguar tenure. So I grew up knowing this cannot be my team, because I cannot go through this kind of heartbreak. I saw my dad throw, the jersey in the trash. I've seen like frustration, tears. I said, I cannot have this life. I need a more, balanced team. So I'm an unrestricted free agent. But the reason why I think the Jaguars are going to be so special this season is, one, Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson. I am so glad that they got rid of Urban. Urban was a mess. I'm glad that chapter is over. But a huge aspect, and if you're a fantasy person, Calvin Ridley. And as much as I liked the Jaguars last season, I love the fact that they made the move. They got the trade for him. Now, obviously, he had the suspension due to the gambling issue. He's hopefully put all that behind him now. But with Calvin, I love the fact that they went and got a true number one. And I like Christian Kirk. I like Zaja. I like these guys, but they were not true number ones. I love the fact that Trevor's going to have a true number one. They've got a run game. They've got a defense. And I just think that this is going to be a team. And they're not in a strong division. The AFC South, you got Tennessee and Houston. And, you got teams that are not really in the mix. I think Jacksonville is going to be a team that makes a lot of noise. I will say, and I'm not just saying this because Prince is here too. I will say, so 2 of my sleeper teams, I feel like the Jaguars and the Ravens. And yes! I love Odell to the Ravens because I feel like Lamar has talking about true number ones. I mean, he had Hollywood for a period that wasn't really a thing. I'm excited to see what he does with a true receiver. Mark Andrews, I think the only team that really excels with a tight end as like their true number one is Kansas City. Everybody else, it doesn't work like that. So I'm excited to see a true number one wide receiver. OBJ, baby. Ray, your team could have had him. Jerry was trying to court Odell last season out here in the streets.
We got Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks.
I had Brandon Cooks on my fantasy team last year. That's why I said
if you've been watching the preseason, little warm up, I know it's team against team, but he has looked explosive. Dak is throwing the long ball. We really don't have Tony Pollard yet. So we will see. Like we need running back. Like running back is a big position for us. So I said Dalvin Cook on the Cowboys also. So and then we're also gonna get Derrick Henry, and then we'll get we're like the Lakers. So we just say, hey, we're gonna get everybody.
You're gonna get everybody. So realistically, Ray, what do you see the Cowboys doing this season?
Yeah, realistically,
I see it being tougher. I think our division got better. I think the Giants got better. I think the Eagles are tougher. I think the Washington, what they call now, Commanders. But literally, I think it's going to be a tougher run. We went 12-7, 12-5 last year. So I think it might be a repeat as far as the record is concerned. But I think we're stronger on defense. I think with Stephon Gilmore and then Diggs on the other side. Yeah. I think we're going to be tough. I mean, Micah Parsons is
I love me some Micah Parsons.
Absolute animal. I think if Dak can come,
we are. Shout out to my stepmom.
Yeah, if Dak goes back and doesn't throw as many interceptions and he just plays within the offense, I Of course, I'm gonna say we won Super Bowl, but I think we'll be right there at the end, just like we were last year.
So Trayvon Diggs, and I say this with love adjacent, he reminds me a lot of Marcus Peters. It's high risk, high reward. Like he's either getting a pick or he's getting burned. Like it's like no middle ground.
Look, just understand this. The Ravens are going to be electrifying this year. Lamar Jackson, he has an arm that nobody has ever really paid attention to. They always paid attention to his running skills.
The legs.
He has a great wide receiver core to support him now. They just picked up Melvin Gordon. I mean, the offense is going to be incredible. They got John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh is a player's coach. Yes, he believes in his players. Look,
players.
I never say this. I've never seen a coach that says, "What do you want to do? What do you want to do?" Lamar Jackson, you got to understand, this is a guy with a dream. His mother had a dream and believed in her kid, so she would take him to the beach and work out with him in the sand. And so he made a promise to his mom. And so when a kid makes a promise to his mom, a black kid make a promise to his mom and say that I'm going to be this, he's definitely going to be that, because there's something that's in him that you cannot measure. You know, with the Greek ruler. To measure his heart. He is a winner.
You're riding for Lamar right now. I love it. You're riding for Lamar.
Look, I'm going to be at the game this year. I love Lamar Jackson. He is a creative player. Anyway, the Ravens all the way. I'm going to say, we are going to beat the Browns. The Browns, they always have, but they got Deshaun. So so we got the Browns.
You know what? One of probably my favorite running back in the NFL, Nick Chubb. Fantasy owners, if you want a tried and true running back, go get you some Nick Chubb. And with no more Kareem Hunt, he's not sharing the carries. So if you're a fantasy owner, go get you some Nick Chubb.
Good call.
And there you go. Look, we have to roll. Ashley has to roll and do some more incredible things, but make sure that
Ashley back, man.
Y'all gotta have me back. Y'all gotta have me back.
Ashley, we're gonna have you back. But look, we're gonna have to have you back like week after week after week, because it's gonna be so many things going on.
Call me when you need someone to talk to.
Right?
Call me.
We got you.
See that? There you go. That's another plus.
Look, make sure that y'all follow Ashley on Instagram at AshleyRoss3 and catch the Ashley Ross Show on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. She has the brains, intelligence, and the looks. And so, fellas, women, please go and check her out. She's doing some incredible things, and check her out on Fox Sports Radio and Peacock TV. And with that, Ashley, we want to ask you one last thing. We like to ask our guests about staying above the rope, and that's like our words of wisdom. Do you have any words of wisdom for anyone?
You know what? I think one of the best pieces of advice I've ever heard is from my grand. So shout out to my grand. She's from North Carolina. And she can cook. But one of the best pieces of advice she ever said is just keep on living. So wherever you're at in life, whatever stage, whether you're living your dream, whether you're working towards it, wherever you find yourself in life, just keep on living, and it gets better. Make sure you have good people around you. I have an amazing support system. I have amazing friends. So it's important to be surrounded by love, people that are going to keep it real with you, and just, one time for the one time, Duval. Shout out to my mama. But yeah, just keep good people around you. That's real important.
That's beautiful. Well, look, you all. So make sure that you keep tuning into Ringside, because we're going to keep good people around us like Ashley Ross. She's going to keep coming in. Ashley, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much for joining us on Ringside with Ray and Prince.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
So just make sure that you keep tuning into Ringside. Now we got to get back to our stand above the ropes. So a little words of wisdom. Ray, you want to start it off, or you're gonna let me throw the alley oop and you slam dunk it?
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going to take the alley right now. So my words of wisdom is coach and let it happen. We talked about the state of running backs and allowing folks to take advantage of your skill set and not pay you for what you put forward, or not value you. And so in everything that you do in life, you either coaching it or you letting it happen. If you let people take advantage of you, you got to change that strategy. You either got to make sure that they know that here you are in control of what's happening with your future and how you move forward. So coach, be a coach. Don't just let it happen to you.
Look, my words of wisdom when I stand above the ropes today is to remember that power, your power is not the power that you can use to push some weights around or to bully someone or to get your way. True power comes from your peace. So learn how to find peace of mind, because once you can find your peace then that's when you will experience your true power. And so, I always talk about mindfulness and meditation. And if you can practice that consistently, you find a peace of mind, you find clarity in your life, and you find your purpose, and you make your purpose popular. And then that's when you find your power, and you live into that. So you can find your true power in your peace. And that's it for us, baby. You already know, man. So I just want to tell y'all, thanks for joining us for another great episode of Ringside. Make sure that you check us online at Ringside Show. Now we got an online, we got a URL. Make sure that y'all join us next week for another great episode as well. Your favorite duo, the best duo in sports talk. We will see y'all next week. Make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button. And thank you for joining us for another great episode of Ringside with Ray and Prince. We'll see y'all later, y'all. Peace and power.
I feel like busting loose, give me the